और इस वक्त सीधे आपको लेकर चलते हैं। अरुण जेटली जीएसटी के 1 साल पूरा होने पर बोल रहे हैं, सुनते हैं क्या कह रहे हैं।
My own experience since the economic reform started in India in 1991 has been that no reform of this magnitude is ever possible till the head of the government, the Prime Minister, stands strongly behind that reform. In the case of the GST, we had an unequivocal support of the Prime Minister, and therefore we could proceed further and enter into arrangements with the various states to go ahead with this. My second experience has been that whenever a major reform of this magnitude is to be implemented, there will be many in the system who will advise you either not to go ahead with the reform or to postpone its implementation. They will start highlighting the dangerous consequences of implementation. And once you waver, then reforms become extremely difficult. We faced this experience in the case of GST also. And therefore we disregarded the advice of those who wanted either a deferment or an indefinite postponement. We analyzed the reasons why governments in the past had failed to implement this reform. They were committed to the GST, but they could never create a comfort level with the state governments that, keeping in mind the federal character of India, the concerns of the states would be respected. Let me give you two illustrations. The states were told earlier that you abolish the CST and the center would compensate you with the CST compensation. The states acted accordingly, but the center never provided them the CST compensation. When I took over in May 2014, the states categorically told me that till the central government agrees to provide us with the CST compensation, it's difficult for the states to trust the word of the central government. And therefore, liabilities incurred in the past were discharged by us to the satisfaction of the states. The second reason was that the states were obviously scared or apprehensive of the fear of the unknown. What if my revenue falls? How am I to be compensated? If the government had no response to this, the states, particularly the manufacturing states, were unwilling to join in. And therefore, we realized the genuine concern of the states and put it as a part of the Constitution amendment that for the first 5 years, the states would be guaranteed from the GST collections a 14% annual growth of their taxes. This put the states at a high comfort level. Having conceded these two major points to the states, we got something back from the states. The amendment to the Constitution proposed by the earlier governments had permanently kept petroleum products out of the GST. We persuaded the states to bring petroleum products within the GST, but assured them that the tax would be levied only once the GST Council agrees. And therefore, in the matter of petroleum products, we moved one step ahead. We consistently kept in mind the federal principles on which the delicate balance of governance in India rests. and therefore the structure of the GST Council was accordingly developed. This structure enabled us to pass the Constitution amendment by a unanimous vote, to pass all the supporting legislations by unanimity, to pass all the rules by a consensus, and finally to fix all rates through a consensus and unanimity of the GST Council. We've had 27 meetings of the Council so far, and I think it has become a role model for governance in various areas.
तो अर्थव्यवस्था की जरूरत थी, वक्त की मांग थी और इसीलिए पूरे देश को आज 1 साल पूरा होने पर जीएसटी के बधाई दे रहे हैं अरुण जेटली।